What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for a third-party review, and today I'm looking at two upgrade sets, and I figured I'd do them both because there's really not enough to warrant a video about each. And we're looking at the MGS-03. It's not referred to as anything other than Universe, Hound, and Ravage upgrade set. The box is pretty plain. You get some text that some of the parts are made to detach, which they're just guns, so there's really no parts that are made to detach. Their little logo with the third-party league. Just a black and white box. On the side, you see it has G and Y. I assume that this would be the BotCon version of Hound. I don't know how the guns inside really would differ, because they don't really matter. Yeah, so anyway, this one here is $30. The cheapest I could find it was $27 on Robot Kingdom. So you're not really going to save money wherever you get it from. And I assume it's probably because these are a much smaller company than like Igear is, so production costs are probably higher, because overall you get a bit less with this. Now this is the Igear upgrade set, and it doesn't come in any type of special box or anything like this. It's just shipped to you right like this. It might have been in a plastic bag, but inside contains all the weapons, and you can see Igear, their logo, W-01. This is simply referred to as upgrade set. The top here, you see all the little spots that you can actually put the guns on, and you got this awesome little handle, so it makes the case that everything came in into a pretty cool, if you can get it in, oversized but pretty cool weapon crate that the Transformers are bringing with them. Now, notably also, this crate on the side here has little spots for the like 3mm clip weapons, and actually there are two different sizes. You got the larger 3mm, and I'm just noticing now a smaller one that I'm not entirely sure what that would be for. But regardless, if you have open-handed Transformers, you could also make it so you had two Transformers kind of holding various sides of the boxes. Let's get Cup here. So they're both clearly carrying this case, although Cup's doing it a little bit better, I suppose. So that's pretty cool, just just making the storage box for this set something that's kind of interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of plastic, I guess, that went into this box. We'll put this weapon back on Cup. Let's start with the MGS set, though. So for this, we need Hound, and we need Ravage. And we open this on up. Now, the picture on BBTS was misleading on what you get. Make sure you look at the description. Here's a quick look at the picture that they had. So you can see that it shows a lot of stuff in there. So really, this goes to show, read the description before you buy things. Inside, what you actually get are two character cards, which I don't know if I just got two of the same, unfortunately, or if that's what they meant by two character cards, because there's no Ravage card, but who cares? I really don't like these cards, and this is just like very small card stock. Like, there's nothing really special about these at all. On the back, some information. Oh, I see why I got two cards, because this is in English and this one is in Japanese. I see. So yeah, this just kind of tells you about Hound if you want to read it. Who cares? You also get inside the box this weapon set. So let's take the Ravage ones out first, because we can get him just right out of the way. You got the nice little leg-mounted missiles. Nice little detail, and they're just gonna peg right on in, just like they did with the old one. The G1, I should say. And there you go. Now have Ravage. Ravage has his leg missiles. So if that was important to you, that's cool. They're now represented, and they are pretty good. The plastic quality is it's a stiff plastic. I mean, it's nice. It doesn't feel cheap, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it doesn't do much besides just looking nice. But it does give that extra bulk to Ravage, which is nice. Now for Hound here, you get everything else in the set. And to be honest, the thing that probably sold me on this set is the gas tanks, because I always loved the little gas tank that was on the G1 Hound. I kind of wish that they gave a gas tank and a tire that you could somehow clip onto the back. Probably wouldn't have been too hard to make something that would slide underneath this. Well, not slide under, but somehow use this. Maybe like pop them up and fasten them onto there and just let them hang. That I would have liked to have seen, but you don't get that. You get the two little gas tanks. The biggest thing about this set is I feel like they could certainly use a little bit of extra color besides just the silver. Everything is painted in the same silver except for Ravage's missiles, and I guess this might be what differs with the yellow and green version, is the color of the metal on here. They tried to match it as best they could, but yeah, it would have been nice to have at least the gas tanks a different color. And these gas tanks can actually stay on in transformation. You can also take this off. You can pop up these back things that stored Ravage in cassette mode, and you can plug this. Well, it doesn't really plug in super strong, but you can see that on the sides it's slotted to fit it properly, so you can actually take it and just kind of slide it on in. And for the most part, it's gonna stay. It's not going anywhere. It wants to fall off when you tip it over, but you know, when it's standing up, it's fine. And you can do anything with this. You can plug in the Hound gun, which I personally like how that looks on there, and it gives it a much better footing. You can plug in any of these guns that came with the set. And the one thing that this set likes to talk about, or likes to show off, I guess, in their pictures, again, not the most solid connection, is that these two guns here, this is slotted out so it fits the back of this gun. And that way, you could do it like this, and give Hound a pretty darn big cannon on the back of the car. And I do like how that looks. That's a nice little touch. I put Hound in his robot mode, and if you leave the gas cans intact, you can see they wind up right under his armpit. That part, I guess, bugs me a little because, yeah, they're just sitting right in the way. You can't really drop his arm all the way because of them. If you rotate them so that they're like this, then it's not so bad. So I suppose you can keep them on if you really want them there. Now, if you have Hound, you know that he can either hold his gun or it can plug poorly into his shoulder like that, which I've always had trouble keeping in a position that looks good. You kind of need to use this tire to hold it in place. So that's where this upgrade kit comes along, and they make some improvements here. And what you're supposed to do is you take this tab piece here, and it's just gonna fit right in, right behind Hound's head back there. And then you should be able to, there we go. You just have to position it right. If it's positioned right, you can then bring the tires however you want behind them, if you want them in or you want them out like the toy originally had them. And that gives a nice little platform on the back of Hound here. Man, this Hound is really frustrating me with his loose knees here. I never realized that my Hound had such bad ball jointed legs. Anyway, so then with this, now you can put in Hound's gun again if you want, and I think that looks a lot better because it's held up off of his shoulder there, and I like how that looks. Alternatively, you can take our big huge gun if you really want and put that in, but I think that looks a little silly. It looks a little bit nicer if you only have one part of it in, and that can be either part if you really want it to be. I think the little one looks a little bit nicer. Or, of course, actually, I should show. We'll grab Ravage here, and we can take his two missile things, and you could actually put them on if you so chose. So you do have plenty of options for things you can do with this. Of course, you can hold the guns. I'm not going to show that. My personal favorite way, though, of displaying this guy, since I got this set. Of course, we give Ravage his missiles because they're his, not Hound. I like to put this in here, and I like to attach my gun to the one large gun, which just feels more G1 like that. Let me give you a good look at these guns. I don't think I ever did that. They're pretty plain looking, to be completely honest. But, yep, I like to give Hound just the big cannon here. And I just think that that looks best, and it really uses his own accessory pretty nicely. So that is the MGS-01 set. Now we'll go to the Igear set. So in the Igear set, you click the little hinges here. They're just a flex hinge system. And you open it on up, and inside you got the nice foam here with all the different weapons inside. You get two different types of pistols and a sniper rifle for Preceptor. Now, let me show you these guys. You can tell that these are Cup's guns because they're very old-fashioned compared to something we have pretty much. Here's your Preceptor guns. They're okay. The one thing that always stands out about these upgrade kits is I feel like it would be really beneficial, at least at your house, to add your own paint apps to really make these things look awesome, because they're cool looking, they have some nice detail, but in one color they can be a little bit boring. So we'll start with Cup. Now, there's no place that you're gonna store these on this figure. If you find some place, it's gonna purely be coincidental that it happens to fit there. It's not intended to in any way, but nevertheless, we can give Cup well, maybe you can't give my Cup because mine seems to have a funky hand on the one side here. Let's try his regular gun holding hand. There we go. We can give him the pistols. Let's try that again at this side. There we go. We have Cup with dual wielded old-fashioned pistols. And what is going on with my arm here? Why can't I figure this out? Okay, through a little bit of fussing with the other hand here, I finally managed to get it in, and there you go. You have Cup dual wielding pistols, and given that he has that nice Igear head, that looks pretty good. Of course, I thought I couldn't find any 3mm clip weapons, completely forgetting that Cup has a 3mm clip weapon, so you can see you can just kind of clip them in place if you so choose. And I like how this little upgrade set, even though, you know, it doesn't offer a whole bunch, but I do like how that looks on Cup, to give him his rifle on his back, you know, slung over his back with the two pistols in his hand. I just feel that that's a very war-torn guy. So, for Preceptor here, this toy that some people love, some people hate, let's give him his pistols first. The pistols are very, very loose in his hand, as you can see. In fact, I feel like the the one that I struggled to get into Cup's hand would work better with this guy, and vice versa. So yeah, you got very, very loose pistols here. Let's try, just out of curiosity, Hound. And they fit Hound very loosely too. So, these pistols I'm not so big of a fan of anyway. But you can definitely see they need some size changes here. And they don't even fit anywhere on the box for Igear without being terribly loose either. So these pistols are kind of a waste and will need to be built up with some kind of super glue or something just to make a thicker handle. But of course the real reason that I like this set was because we get a sniper rifle. And the sniper rifle nicely pegs in to Preceptor's hand there. Very nice. And the stock looks good. It's a shame that the Preceptor toy itself is not more posable to get, you know, good sniper poses out of him. I suppose you could kind of approximate something, but it'd be kind of hard to do. Fortunately, he does have good hand articulation here, so he can do some extra cool I'm walking with my sniper rifle poses. And we'll peg this all back in. I can honestly see why there are a group of people who really don't like this Preceptor toy, because he really is very, very prone to falling over, and his shoulders don't hold together very well. You can see that mine comes with an action feature. But yeah, you can get some cool poses out of Preceptor if you can work him properly. I don't know. I do like the holding the rifle when you're walking type thing. And you could probably get it more natural feeling than just that. But that does look pretty good in my opinion. So overall, on these sets, they're both pretty good sets. You definitely get more for your money out of the Igear set, for sure, even if these guns don't really work properly. Yeah, I don't know why they made the tolerances so strange on them. But yeah, you still get more out of the Igear set than you will out of the MGS set. But I assume that's because the MGS set's probably closer to a garage kit company than Igear is. Igear has factories doing stuff. I like both of them. I prefer this one over the MGS set, but I'm also a big fan of Hound, so I can more reasonably justify the set. It is very expensive for what you get though, so keep that in mind. I think, like I said, overall this is the much better value and the better set. So oh, one last thing I wanted to show here while I'm thinking about it. If you do get this set, or presumably Igear is going to make more sets of weapons, because these are the W-01 set, so I would assume there will be a W-02. If you do have multiples, you can see you have the 4 slots here and the 4 pegs here. They're actually designed so they'll peg in nicely together. It's not a solid connection, it's just going to fall over at the right angle. But they are designed to be like stacked up and stuff like that, so if they make more sets, that'll be cool. So this is T2RX6, and this review is actually longer than I was expecting it would be. So I'll see you next time.